Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Chicks in Construction. I am your host, Mikki Paradise, and this is my amazing co-host.
Hi, I'm Jessica Abreu.
I'm pretty much loving our setup. I don't know if you guys have been clocking that we have a different setup, but please observe our new signage. Okay, it's kind of a big deal. Joe worked really hard on this. Okay, Joe, the studio god, worked really hard on this. Listen, what does this podcast exist for? It's for you. It's for you, homeowner. It's for you, future homeowner. It's for you, person who just loves a little bit of gossip, a little bit of tea, if you will. If you're a crime show enthusiast, this show is for you. Because this is like true crime construction edition. What we do here is I'm an expert in construction. I've been in construction for 21 years. Some of y'all on TikTok, you need to know about that because I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing about the comments where she doesn't. What does she know about construction? She knows a lot about construction.
I don't.
Jess is a homeowner. I'm a construction expert. Jess is a homeowner expert. She's great at owning a home. And together we join forces to help you, other homeowners, other contractors, to understand a little bit about, one, how construction works, and two, how the homeowner experience works, so that ideally in a perfect world, we can help people have better experiences. So kind of the premise of the show is people write in and they share their stories. We call them homeowner horror stories on how, what construction experience they had, if it went bad, how did it go bad, kind of walking us through their experience. And then we break it down. And we pull out the pieces where it's like, that's where things kind of started to go wrong. And we help you know what to do so that stuff doesn't happen to you if you, the viewer, are going to do a renovation or build a house or replace your roof. Whatever it is, we want to educate you on what is normal and what is not, and a lot of trends that we're seeing, because our whole motto is that learning the hard way is overrated. So I'm going to tell you guys a story right now that I'm not sure I'm going to be able to tell without crying. So I'm just like warning you now. It might get uncomfortable. So just be prepared for that. And it's not exactly construction related, but it is one of those moments of, if I had only known, my life would be drastically different right now. And since we ask the homeowners to write in and share their uncomfortable stories with me, I felt like it would be, it's just like a little hypocritical to not talk to you, the audience, about this so that you could learn from the experience that I had. We talk on the show all the time about my dogs. I don't have kids. Jess is the mom. I'm the dog mom. I have 4 dogs. And my oldest dog, his name was Optimus Prime. And he was an English Mastiff. Now, I've had English Mastiffs since I graduated from college. I adopted my first English Mastiff kind of just after I graduated. And I just fell in love with the breed. I fell in love with the attitude of the breed. I fell in love with just everything about them. And so after, his name was Bubba, after Bubba passed away, we rescued another English Mastiff. And after his name, that was the first Otis. After Otis passed away, we rescued another English Mastiff. And the thing about English Mastiffs is they don't live long. And so that's kind of one of those things that, like, as a pet owner, you kind of have to weigh is smaller dogs can live. I mean, I have a friend who has a Jack Russell that just turned 19 years old.
Yeah. Their bodies are just littler. All the organs work better.
Like they just last longer. And so that's one of the things, like, when you make the decision to own English Mastiffs, like, you know that the time is limited. But for me, owning, like, I don't know how you say it, but adopting English Mastiffs that had already been treated badly and had not been taken care of and had not been given proper vet care, it reduced their lifespan even more dramatically than just being big. So, like, English Mastiffs, I kind of like related to like a BMW. You can't drive a BMW 400,000 miles and not change the oil. Like, English Mastiffs are not pit bulls. You got to take them to the vet. Like, you've got to, like, we started
They require a lot
a lot of care. And if you don't, take those steps and those procedures, it costs them more time off of their life. So after rescuing 4 English Mastiffs and having a really brief amount of time with them, I had a friend that I worked with in the rescue that also bred English Mastiffs reach out to me and let me know that she had a litter of puppies. And I had absolutely no intention of getting a dog. Like we had dogs. It was like we had Daisy, the English Mastiff at the time. And it was like, oh, well, I kind of have this thing. I don't know. You probably can't relate to this because you're not a pet person.
I don't own a single pet.
But when a dog finds me or an opportunity with a dog finds me, I always take notice of that more than me ever going out and looking for an animal. Like I kind of feel like my animals find me.
Yeah. Well, like the last one did.
Yeah.
Right?
Like we found Frankie on the side of the road. Like, so we kind of have that mentality of like when an opportunity presents itself, like it might be, I don't know, the universe being like, hey, this one's for you. So that's kind of the origin of Optimus Prime. And I was really excited about having an English Mastiff from the beginning so that I could take care of them in a way that they deserve to be taken care of. Kind of in honor of all the English Mastiffs that we had rescued that were treated so horribly until they came to us. And really all we could do was do our best to try to heal the things that other people had broken. And I was excited about the opportunity of having this dog as a puppy and knowing what his entire life was and knowing what his entire experience was and making sure that I was taking care of everything about him. And I mean, Optimus Prime really lived a spared at no expense life. He went to the chiropractor. He was in physical therapy. Like there was never anything that dog needed that I did not provide for him, no matter what the cost was. Like he was on special diet that the food itself cost $400 a month. His medication for because he started to get arthritis as he got older was about $500 a month. Like I did not care what it cost to take care of him. Just him having a happy and healthy life was the most important thing to me. So what I wanted to share with you, the viewers, the thing that I want you to know that I didn't know, is there are drug interactions that I was unaware of. So Optimus Prime was on a drug called carprofen, which is a really commonly prescribed arthritis medication. And it's really common. Big dogs are often on some sort of an arthritis medication. We went in on I think it was the 2nd of July for his yearly exam. He was completely and totally healthy. His heart, everything, all systems were operating at optimal levels. We go to El Salvador, we come back, he had a hot spot. We took him to the vet, but we went to our regular vet, but we saw not the regular vet because they have a ton of different vets.
Right.
And they prescribed him progesterone to treat the hot spot. Turns out progesterone and carprofen should never, ever be mixed. 14 days after we started giving him that medication, last Sunday, we came home from being out with family and he couldn't stand. When we left the house a couple hours earlier, he was fine. When we came home, we couldn't get up. So I immediately started calling. Of course, it was a Sunday, and of course, it was, after hours. So we immediately started calling emergency vets and found one that could take him. We brought him in, and they worked on him for an hour, which is unusual. Normally, they kind of come in and they update you. They worked on him for an hour before they came in, and they told us that he was likely, there was essentially no blood in his system. His heart was beating and his system was working overtime. His heart rate was so elevated, and his temperature was 104. And his body was working so hard to pump blood because there was almost none in his system because it was all bleeding into his gut. So the mix of carprofen and progesterone almost always leads to a GI bleed, a gastrointestinal bleed. And in Prime's case, he had a full-blown ulcer and was completely just bleeding into his stomach, to the point where he had almost no blood volume. And he was almost septic. And there was nothing that they could do. They called NC State, and NC State basically said, because here in North Carolina, NC State has a really prestigious, I'm going to say in air quotes, I'm actually not a fan of NC State Vet Hospital, and I honestly encourage you to never take your animal there under really any circumstance. But that's where all the local vets will try to send you if there's a case that is beyond like what they're able to do. Mm-hmm. So they called NC State just to like see what was on the table, and they quoted us $8,000 to $12,000 just to see him. Like that wasn't like guaranteeing any outcome or any like with the surgery, or it was just like just to diagnose what the problem was. It was going to be $8,000 to $12,000, and the vet was like, I'm going to be honest with you, like I don't think there's anything that they can do, and if he was in extreme amounts of pain and duress. And so we had to put him down. We had a necropsy done, which is like a animal version of an autopsy. And it came back 2 days ago that he was perfectly healthy. So there was absolutely nothing wrong with him. There's no underlying issue. He was perfectly healthy. But the mixing of those medications caused that ulcer, which ended up taking his life. So I now have to live for the rest of my life knowing that even though I'm not a vet, and even though it's not my job to know that two prescriptions should never be mixed, I fed my first puppy, the first puppy I ever had, the dog love of my life, prescription medication that poisoned him and eventually killed him. Like, I have to live with that for the rest of my life. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that, but if I could, as somebody who has what I think we're at like 55,000 followers, if we have that many people subscribing, and if I can find one person that watches this and pays attention to the prescription drugs that their vet puts them on, and one dog doesn't have to die the way Prime did, then I'm going to try to do that. So not a super fun way to start the podcast, but I really wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know, to potentially help you not have that experience if you do have a dog that is on any kind of arthritis medication. So that happened, guys. And
the vet said, sorry.
Yeah, they I messaged them while we were in. I can't even, when the vet told me this, something just broke inside of me. Like, that just, we rely on these people to take care of our animals and give them the care that they need. And I can imagine how difficult it is to treat animals, right? They can't talk to you. They can't tell you what's going on. Like, I can't imagine the level of difficulty there. But this wasn't even like, oh, the dog couldn't tell me what was wrong. It was, you just didn't look. You didn't look to see what medication he was on.
Yeah. Or you just, I mean, it's negligence.
Oh, it's 100% negligence. And because this is my life and I'm clearly being punished for sins of a past life, my last Mastiff, not in the same way, but Daisy was killed by medical negligence at NC State. We won't get into all of it. It was horrible, and she horribly suffered because of them. And it was a situation where it wasn't as cut and dry. And there's something very unique about a dog dying that was perfectly healthy versus like, well, Daisy had cancer. So she was going to die. We knew that. but how she died, it could have been very different.
Mm-hmm.
They made a mistake and she ended up dying very badly. But it was one of those things where it's like in your back of your mind, you know that it's coming. Whereas Prime was perfectly healthy because I invested my whole heart into his care and into the lifestyle that he had and just loving him and caring for him. So the vet, they acknowledged that those prescriptions should never be mixed, and they said they were sorry. They didn't offer to pay for the emergency vet care. They didn't offer to refund me for, the $1,500 that I paid for them to end up killing my dog. Like they didn't. They were just like,
which vet is that?
So it's Care First on Oberlin, and it's the thing that I told. It's a real juxtaposition because the last vet that, contributed to killing Daisy took absolutely no responsibility. So when this vet, they called us the next day to check on Prime because at the time that I had emailed him, he wasn't dead. So they called me to check on him and I told them that he was dead and they were very sorry. And, he sent me an email taking full, and this wasn't the vet who actually did it. This was the guy who owns Care First. Oh. He took responsibility. He told me he was very sorry, that they were going to review the situation and see what they need to do to make sure that, it doesn't happen again. But it wasn't, it was just that. And so at first I was like, well, I guess that's better than the way the other vet treated me. But then I was like, what is the standard here? Like, is the standard like, oh, well, I guess I should be happy that you took responsibility and just be happy with that. No. I'll tell you guys, the scorchedness of the earth that will be behind me when I'm done dealing with all of this, I am going full scorched earth. But the two drugs, again, are carprofen and progesterone. They do not mix. And when mixed, it is guaranteed to kill your dog. And I don't want you guys to have that experience. I would avoid Care First. One, they're very expensive. So me and Jess have always joked, that I'm never going to retire because I spend so much on vet care. I actually did that on purpose. After Daisy was killed by the last vet, I went to Care First intentionally. I knew they were expensive.
But you think expensive is going to be a
better level of care.
Careful. Yes.
That's exactly what I thought. And I told the doctor that when he called. I said, I want you to understand that my last Mastiff was killed by the vet in a similar way, different but similar. And I intentionally brought all of my pets here to get cared for by you because I knew that you were supposed to be the best, that you were expensive and that I was going to pay for the best, but I was going to get the best.
Right.
And now you've killed my dog.
Right.
And all he had to say was that he was very sorry. I mean, he was very genuinely sorry. But that doesn't really do much for me.
No.
Or anybody. Being sorry isn't going to prevent this from happening again. There's going to have to be some diligence. And I think there's going to have to be some consequences, which I'm going to try very hard to make happen.
Oh, I mean, when you told me, I was like, oh, it's not even my dog. I'm like, well, I want to go full wrath on them.
Dude, I've had so many people reach out too, because I've shared a little bit about it on Facebook just to let people know. And there's been a lot of people who've reached out and be like, are you going to do this? And are you going to do that? And I'm like, oh, that's actually a great idea. I'm like, keep them coming. Because I know that in the state of North Carolina, pets are considered personal property. So you can't sue for emotional damages, which I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know what's more emotional than my pets, but that's the law. So you can sue for property damage, damages to your property, but that limits you in what you can sue for. And I know that we can report the doctor to the veterinary licensing board, which we absolutely will be doing. But, if you guys know of any additional consequences, I would be thrilled to know them. Because I think, I know for me in my career, I learned a lot from other people's mistakes, but I also learned the most from my personal mistakes when there was very severe consequences. So, you know, in situations where I made a mistake and we lost a bunch of money, those stories, like those experiences have stuck with me longer than just your average experience. So I think there needs to be some pretty steep consequences so that it stays with them. So the next time that woman goes to write somebody's prescription, she looks back and she checks and she makes sure. So we're going to move on to some homeowner horror stories, but I wanted you guys to be aware of that. And I wanted to share that with you. So hopefully no one else finds themselves in that situation. But we're going to transition somehow into these homeowner horror stories. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're going to get into this super delightful homeowner horror story that is brought to us by a gentleman in Massachusetts.
Yes. I want you to, well, I already told you how to say the town.
You did, but I'm going to tell you, one, I've already forgot it, and two, I immediately was going to go to Worcestershire. That's where my head was going to go. That's not at all how it's spelled, but that's exactly how I was going to read it.
It's Worcester.
Worcester.
Now,
the chances.
You have
the chances.
Worcester, because it ends in an R,
right.
But if you are from Massachusetts, it's Worcester.
And if you're not, they know you're not because you say Worcester. And I'd 100%.
Or Worcester as how it's. They actually they actually spelled it wrong.
Oh,
which is, I'm pretty sure there's an H in there. He must have been typing fast.
I couldn't even tell you. We all, as we know, reading is not where I shine. Okay? It's not.
But luckily, I'm from Massachusetts.
But we got Jess here.
And I know this, but don't even get me trying to start pronouncing things in North Carolina because some of these.
True story. Good luck. Even just Raleigh is so hard for people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I live
Raleigh. No, it's not Raleigh.
I live in Fuquay, and like when I first moved here, I was like
Fuqua.
Huh? I say Fuquay.
I've heard people say Fuqua. And I'm just like, it's not that French. Calm down.
Yeah.
Like
it ends in AY. But spelling it for people when they're like, can you spell that? I'm like, F-U.
Period.
Q-U-A-Y.
F-U. Moving on.
Yeah. And my husband's like, at first I would do it like that. He goes, now I go F-U-Q. I was like, oh, you're so nice.
Oh,
I don't.
F-U, period. Q-U.
A-Y, dash.
Just to let you guys know, we're probably going to do 2 homeowner horror stories because this one's pretty short, so we might bundle. We'll see how the day goes.
Bundle and save.
We're going to bundle and we're going to Jake from State Farm it, okay?
Sponsor us.
Yeah, please, God, someone. This podcast needs to make money at some point.
All right, so getting into it.
Here we go.
So this comes from a gentleman in Worcester. Massachusetts. We live in an older home outside Worcester. Oh, so it's actually outside, which is one of those little tiny small towns that no one's ever heard of.
Oh, so it's not Worcester, it's something else, but he's not even going to bother.
He's not even going to bother.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't want people to really know where he lives.
That's fair.
You know what? It's probably so small that if somebody heard the horror story,
they would know.
Like, I know who you are.
Yeah.
It's that kind of tiny. We have plaster walls and wiring that probably should have been replaced decades ago. We budgeted $52,000. We figured we could get us a beautiful new kitchen with an island, new cabinets, updated plumbing, and better lighting. That number felt like a lot of money to us, and it was. But we had no idea how much we were going to pay.
The sad part is, like, full stop, $52,000 is an obscene amount of money. Amount of money. Mm-hmm. Okay? Like, I don't have no point want to be like, $52,000, drop in the bucket. Absolutely not. We all work really hard for our money. Mm-hmm. That's an insane amount of money. Unfortunately, for up north, that's not even remotely close. Like the numbers that we have seen people pay. Remember that one where it was like $110,000 and it was just a kitchen? And I was outraged and Jess was like, yeah, but it's up north. So everything's just more expensive.
It's so expensive.
So I'd like Sadly, yes, sir, you are right. That is an obscene amount of money. Unfortunately, in the world of renovating your house, it is not nearly enough. And I hate that. I hate that for all of us.
Yeah, especially for an island and cabinets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and plumbing? Oh, my God. My God, today.
I know.
My God, today.
And wiring too, right? All the things. So
sadly,
yes,
sir.
It's going to be.
We already know. Well, you wrote in, so we knew where this was going to start with. But with that budget, I'm sorry in advance.
For those of you who are thinking about updating your kitchen, $52,000 is not enough money, no matter where you live.
Yeah, it's not. Because like, I feel like $52,000, if you're keeping your cabinets and maybe just refreshing, it could get you countertops and tile and maybe some new fixtures.
Maybe a little bit new hardware.
But like, again, that is insane. That is insane.
Yes.
It's insane. You're not wrong, everybody. You're not wrong. But unfortunately, like,
COVID made the prices go up and they just never
went down. And 100%, that is the greed of these supply companies. Because basically what happened was, because this happened in drywall, they, all this stuff was happening. COVID was happening. Like, everything just shut down for a little while. And everybody was fine for it being shut down for a little while. And then everybody was like, okay, we're done with everything being shut down, even though COVID was still out there. So they started doing stuff. Okay, we're going to remodel our house since we can't go anywhere. And I'm like, what about the people who have to do the work to remodel your house? Like,
yeah, whatever.
So like, factories shut down. There was a material shortage. It was crazy. And suppliers realized that they could just charge whatever. And if this company needed the materials bad enough, they would pay it. And so literally the cost of drywall almost overnight doubled for no reason. I mean, other than COVID. Like, there's no issues with the materials. There is no issue with the supply of materials. There is no issue with the demand of the materials. Like, all of those are the same. The only thing that was different was COVID. So you would think, right? Like, after COVID, we're 6 years out of COVID. Prices would go down. Nope. They never changed. So that's the thing, is they increased their prices because they're greedy SOBs. And then instead of saying, okay, well, we got, the goose was good while it was, but we're going to bring the prices back down. They're like, no, you're just going to keep paying it. So the cost of everything is so much because material suppliers are evil and they aren't being held accountable by anyone.
No, they can charge whatever they want.
There's nothing stopping them. So they're just going to keep raising the prices until literally nobody can afford to have their house renovated or built, which we're already seeing that, but it's going to take a real act of Congress, which is a joke, for that to happen. Yeah. So unfortunately, it's really sad.
Like, we wanted to put a pool in our backyard, and during, it was COVID was slowly coming down, and we're like, oh, we'll just wait a couple years when the prices aren't.
Nope.
They still haven't come down. I'm like, you know what? You can keep your pool. Yeah. I'll just walk
to the neighborhood pool.
I'll walk to the neighborhood pool. It's 6 houses down. Well, we're fine.
It's insane. It is insane. Sorry, that was a soapbox. I'm off the soapbox now. We can continue with the story.
We found our contractor through a flyer stuck in our mailbox.
Oh, Sean.
I gave him a call and he came over. He measured a few things, looked over our kitchen, and he seemed friendly enough. Gave us a verbal quote of $42,000 and told us he could start in 2 weeks. He never gave us anything in writing,
Sean,
before we handed him a deposit. I didn't know that Massachusetts law actually limits how much a contractor can ask for up front.
Neither did I. That's great that exists. I mean, if you know about it.
Yeah, if you know. That's
the more you know.
That's why we're here. And a real contract is supposed to spell out the start date, the completion date.
Yes.
And exactly what work is being done.
100%. Sean, you figured it out.
Yep. I just wanted my kitchen done, so I paid him half the total cost before he even picked up a hammer.
Poor Sean. I'm so sorry.
The first few weeks
just rebooted.
It's Monday. Well, Tuesday when you're watching this, but today is Monday, and it feels as much of a Monday as a Monday can feel.
The Mondayest of Mondays.
The demolition happened fast. Within 4 days, our kitchen was down to studs and the subfloor, and we were eating takeout on paper plates in the living room. Then things slowed to a crawl.
Dude, every single time.
Every time.
Because I am telling you, I am saying this with my whole chest. I think it's a strategy. They demo your house so quick so that you're uncomfortable enough to keep paying them. Because like, think about it. When it feels so much more high pressure when your kitchen doesn't exist and there's no sink and you're washing your dishes in your bathtub.
Yeah, eating takeout all the time.
To keep paying dummy dum-dum who's not doing, you're not happy with what they're doing. You have no confidence in what they're doing, but you feel pressure because you can't live your regular life. I'm telling you, this is strategy. It has to be.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Because every single story.
Every single one, you guys. Every single one. The demo happens like that.
Yep.
Every time.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So days would pass with no one showing up. When I called to ask what was going on, I'd get vague answers about permits or about waiting on materials. I didn't know that in Massachusetts, contractors are required to be registered and that certain electrical and plumbing work legally had to be done by licensed tradespeople.
Yeah.
Not just whoever the general contractor has on his crew that day.
Yeah, facts.
I found out later that the guy who rewired our outlets wasn't licensed for that kind of work. I only found out because an inspector flagged it when we finally
called them ourselves.
Wow. I told you.
As a
Monday.
They had to call the town themselves. Like, and that's how they found, like, he didn't even find out from the GC, like, oh, there was an issue with the electrical. He just like finally got so fed up with nobody showing up. He calls the town and they're like, oh yeah, that got failed because the wiring was all wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't even.
What in the world?
People would come to the house on random days and times. We never knew who was showing up or when. I would get calls at work saying that someone was there and couldn't get in because no one was home. It was a disaster, and my wife was wicked stressed about it.
Oh, you say it like they would say it, Jess.
Wicked.
That's how it's
Wicked.
like. I think I'm thinking of like the Boston accent.
That's so
they're
wicked.
like wicked. It's like real thick. Wicked.
It's wicked.
Sorry.
That's what we say when something's really terrible.
That's
wicked. Wicked stressed. As they were installing things and putting our kitchen back together, we were getting the feeling that something just was not right. I started doing some research and realized we had made some major mistakes.
I'm sorry, Sean.
We called the town to get an inspector out to make sure our home was going to be safe. I can just imagine, like, somebody's putting, like, the kitchen back together, and you're like,
but did you inspect that? Like,
or, like, how wrong does it have to be for, like, just, like, if I was watching people put my kitchen back together, like, it would take it being really wrong.
Yeah.
Well, not now.
Right.
But, like,
now you know.
Now
but,
I
like,
know.
as a homeowner who's doesn't have a podcast about homeowner horror stories, imagine how, like, messed up it would have to be for you to be like, I think I should call the town.
I don't think that's right. It's got to be wires somewhere or plumbing that just doesn't look
I can't even
right.
imagine.
Like, it's got to be real bad.
It's got to be pretty bad
for you to. Okay, so the inspector failed our electrical work outright. He told us plainly that what had been done didn't meet code and would need to be torn out and redone by a licensed electrician. I remember standing in my gutted kitchen holding that paperwork, feeling like I'd been punched in the stomach.
Oh, man.
We had already paid our contractor for that work. Now we'd have to pay somebody else to fix it on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Money started disappearing faster than I could track it.
Oh, God.
We began as a $42,000 project, which crept up to $50,000 by the time all the dust settled. There were the cabinets that arrived damaged that had to be reordered. There was a plumbing issue under the sink that the contractor claimed wasn't his responsibility, even though his crew had installed it.
Yes, fun.
Yeah,
That's definitely not your responsibility.
No, not at all.
Nah.
There was the 6 weeks he disappeared entirely.
Oh, that's fun.
6
weeks is a month and a half. Oh my God.
At that point, like, wouldn't you think, like, maybe I should call somebody else to come finish this?
Dude.
Where he was apparently working another job while ours sat half finished, walls open, no working sink, 3 of us washing dishes in the bathroom. I mean,
every time. Every time.
I felt embarrassed more than anything.
Yeah.
My wife would ask me what was happening, and I didn't have good answers because I didn't understand half of what was happening.
Oh, wow.
Terms like rough-in and load-bearing and subcontractor got thrown around like I was just supposed to nod along. And for a while, I did.
And Sean, everybody, like, you are not alone. You are not alone. That is the people that write in. That is one of the most repeated themes is I didn't understand what was happening, but I didn't want to look stupid. I didn't want to seem like I didn't know what I was talking about. So I just went along with it until it got to a point where they just realized, like, okay, I'm going to have to start asking questions. Like, you are, I don't want to say like in good company, but honestly, you are, because every single person that has written in and shared their story with us, it is not your job to know what those things mean. It is the job of a contractor to explain to you what those things mean as they're talking to you about it. And like even saying, hey, this is load bearing. Let me explain to you what that is just in case you don't know. And I always say to everybody that I'm dealing with, like, hey, stop me if you know this, because I don't want to just assume that somebody knows this. So I say, hey, listen, if you know this, stop me. But if not, I'm going to explain this to you in a little bit more detail because this stuff matters. I don't want to say that all general contractors that don't do layman's terms or don't make it a point to explain what these things mean are bad, because I think there are a lot of like OGs out there that have literally been doing this since Jesus was a baby, like working side by side in Jesus's carpenter studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they just are so old school that they just expect you to know, because I'm going to be honest. Getting old is weird. It is the weirdest experience ever. So like seeing the world change and seeing like in real time culturally us lose things is very strange. When I was younger, there were a whole lot more people that you would interact with on an everyday basis that knew about building things. I would very rarely meet men that didn't know how to use power tools. I would very rarely come across people, like especially like older people or like people who were older in my version but are just now my age. You know, like they were old then because I was in my 20s and I was like, oh my God, that's so old. And now I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not old.
I'm still young and in my prime.
I have no wrinkles. What are you talking about? Look at this face. So, you know, now it was very rare. Like the subset of people just knew shit. And now it is very rare that we encounter people that know stuff. And it's not like, what is it? The internet?
No. It's
whose fault is it? I'm like, who can we blame?
Well, so what happened was everybody was told that your child had to go to college to get a degree to work in these 100%. Corporate places. So there is this whole generation where we were told.
There was no shop class. There was none of that.
No. Like that was for the dummies who wouldn't
who couldn't go to
college. So so you either have them and like some of them didn't. Like I remember in high school all the people that took those classes. And I don't know if I would have wanted them working on electrical in my house. But yes, we were all told, go to college, get a good job, work for the man.
So now there's this whole class of people that didn't do wood shop, didn't go work with their dads in the field. Like I've met people in construction that have children that are old enough to like work with them. And I'll be like, oh, your son doesn't frame with you? Oh, I would never let my son frame with me. This is too hard work. I don't want my kids to work this hard. Well, then whose kids? If not yours, then whose? Because somebody's kids are going to have to learn how to frame.
Yeah.
So like, it's a whole thing. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole point of this is it's not your fault. Like culturally, we stopped teaching our kids and our students and the world what to know about construction, how construction works, like what's normal, what's not. We stopped teaching this. So it's unbelievably common. And it's not your fault that you don't know what these terms are.
Nope.
It's not your fault that this guy didn't explain it to you. And the whole point of this and you writing in and us sharing is so that people can learn from this mistake, that we can normalize this a little bit more so that when you're experiencing this, you don't feel ashamed. You just say, you know what? I actually don't know what that means. Can you explain it? And then if they can't explain it, then you probably don't hire them.
Then you know you don't give them any more of your money.
No more money. No more money for you. Same.
No soup for you. Eventually, I stopped nodding. I started keeping a folder of every text message, every receipt, every promise he made and broke. I called the Massachusetts Office of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation, good Lord, and asked how homeowners were supposed to be protected in situations like ours. That conversation changed everything for me. I learned that our contractor had never given us the 3-day right to cancel notice he was legally required to provide when he first took our deposit.
Clock that, Massachusetts. That's a law.
Yep. 3 days.
I didn't know that.
Me neither. And I lived there. And I had work done in my house by contractors who now I'm like,
You're like, excuse me, where was my 3-day notice?
Yeah.
Rude.
So rude.
That is so rude.
And like, actually, the work that I had done in my house there, I'm like, oh, we did not.
You're like, uh-oh. See, this was before the podcast.
This is before the podcast. I'm like, I don't know if there was an inspection done on any of it. And we took out like a whole wall and there's like a beam there now. My house will not fall down.
It's fine. It was built in like 1705. It's fine. It's been here that long. You'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I mean, it was built when, things were built right, not with toothpicks
when they
and
actually
splinters.
Had wood that was dried out.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
Who needs wood that's dried out?
It takes too long, rude.
Sorry. I learned that homeowners in Massachusetts can file a complaint against a contractor's registration and that there's a
the fund
guarantee fund that can help cover losses from bad contractor work. None of that made the stress disappear.
Yeah.
But it gave me something I hadn't had in months, which was a plan.
Yes. This is giving very Kevin McAllister vibes. Like his house is about to be broken into.
And he's
been left in Chicago, but he's got a plan. He wrote it in crayon. It is down. It's time. He's coming for you.
At least he's got that written in crayon. This guy didn't have anything.
This is like, listen, now I have a plan. It's not in crayon.
We ended up letting that contractor go.
Smart.
It felt terrifying at the time.
It does.
And that's what so many people feel.
They don't do it. So street cred to you, Sean, because so many people don't let them go because they're scared. So you were scared, but you did it anyway, and I'm proud of you.
Growth happens outside your comfort zone.
Look at you. Jess does that stuff professionally. She gives little talks. You can hire her.
Give you a little vibe check.
She does vibe checks.
Yep. Like we were burning the bridge that was supposed to lead us home. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Also, the little old lady, and literally she's little. She's like 5 feet tall. She told me on the phone that is renting my Airbnb right now.
Yeah.
She is just like she has not stopped messaging me since she moved in 4 days ago.
Oh God, Jess.
I mean, I think that she's just lonely because it's just her there.
Oh.
So it's... Did you know that your neighbor's dog is outside and they didn't clean up its poop?
Ma'am, absolutely not. I did not know that, nor did I want to know.
I don't care. Don't care.
She'd be like, what am I supposed to do about that?
There's no light bulbs in the outside, like the front entryway.
Okay.
We think that one of the people that we hired to do work at our house that ended up being a scam came by and smashed them. This was like when we first were doing it. So like it's been a year and like he got arrested. But
I remember that story.
Yes.
Brad was like, try me.
Yeah. Yeah. But when we put in another light bulb, it didn't work. So like I just took the light bulbs out. I was like, I don't want something to like spark or anything. Yeah. So she's like, do you know that there's no light bulbs? Yes, ma'am. I do know there's no light bulbs. It doesn't work.
It's broken.
I was like, leave the lights on. There's no stairs to come into the house.
She's going to like eat shit.
Yeah.
Falling downstairs or anything.
There's no stairs. It's a smooth walkway into the house. I was like, you can leave. And there's like a little window that comes like from the stairs. I was like, leave this hallway stair light on and you can still see. And she's like, oh, I don't go out much at night. I was like, then leave me alone.
Jess, I feel like my bad karma might be rubbing off on you.
No, you can keep your bad karma right over there. That's a story for
the next podcast.
Next podcast. Stay tuned. So I'm sorry. I get it just because I
don't know where that came from, but it was living in your head. You needed to get it out.
You know what? It's because she's messaging me now.
Oh.
So like I'm trying to read and it comes up.
I was like, normally when we do a side quest,
it's your fault.
It's one, my fault, but two, somewhere it ties into the story. But that was, now we know where that came from. Now we know why.
I can't read and I don't know.
Lady, stop messaging me.
I have tried to shut off the notifications and she still gets.
She's like, man, this is urgent.
This is, all right.
Sorry about that.
Sorry that she is
insane.
She's just needy. I feel bad because she's obviously old and alone and like maybe needs a friend. And
you're like, but I'm
busy. Okay. A friend recommended a small licensed remodeling company that actually walked us through a real contract.
Yay.
Before touching anything. They explained what needed fixing from the previous work, gave us a clear timeline.
Yes.
And for the first time in this whole process, showed up when they said they would.
Shocking how that works.
I mean, that should be the standard.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the thing to realize too is that if you don't watch this podcast, you don't have anything to compare it to. Mm-hmm. So like this guy didn't know what he didn't know. We say this all the time.
Right.
You don't have anything to compare it to. If somebody comes in and once, you get a good feeling and it seems like they know what they're talking about and they give you a price you can live with, you think, oh, well, he's just giving me a handshake. This must be how it does.
Yeah.
So it took him having that bad experience to know, oh, that's actually not at all how it works.
Right.
So you don't know what you don't know, which is why you guys should subscribe to our podcast and then share it with a friend that might be having a renovation because you don't want them to end up on the wrong side of this, guys. You don't want them writing in unless it's to tell us how great they think we are, which I'm not going to lie to you, does not happen often. Okay? So
it should happen
we
more
could use
often.
some good news around here.
Yes.
Go ahead. chicksandconstruction.com. Write us a love note, but don't be weird. Please.
Keep it on the up and up.
Back to it.
All right. So it took another 2 months to finish what should have taken 6 weeks in the first place. The final cost, once you add up the wasted materials, the electrical rework, and the second contractor's fees, came in around $80,000.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
That number still makes me wince.
Yeah.
But when I stand in my kitchen now with the island we always wanted and the lights that actually work the way they're supposed to.
Shocking.
I don't just see a renovation. It is a beautiful kitchen, and we enjoy cooking in it.
Wonderful.
I see everything we learned about asking for things in writing, about checking a license before we ever hand over a check,
ding, 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 ding.
And about trusting our own instincts, even when somebody with a tool belt and the confident voice tells us not to worry about it.
So, dude, yes, all of that. Like, these are the things that we talk about. We're only going to do this one because, we've gone on so many side quests. Mm-hmm. The podcast is going to be 6 hours long if we do another homeowner horror story. But literally, yes, like always. is hard to find a contractor.
Really
It
hard.
is hard to say where is a good place to find a contractor.
Not in
We
the mailbox.
know of some absolutely amazing, like Nicole from the Kitchen and Bath Remodeling
the
Center.
Bath Remodeling Center in
She
Cary.
is one of our absolute favorite general contractors in this area. Like, we recommend her with our whole chests. You can find her on Facebook. You can find, but like, is that the only place you can find her? No. You can find her on, Google. You can search her company on Google. You can see reviews that she has. You can see her all over social media. She has a really big presence. It's not just Facebook. So I don't want to say like you should never find your contractor on Facebook. That might be a great place to start to give you some ideas. But then that's where that's the beginning. That's the baby step. Then it's like, okay, we're verifying licensing. We're looking to see if they have judgments against them. We're making sure that they have insurance and that they are specifically insured to do the work that they're doing. We're making sure that they don't have like multiple companies registered in their name, and it looks like, okay, well they just changed a few letters. It looks like the same company, because that's weird, because that says like, it gives like, oh, we shut down and started again, but didn't want to redo all of our branding. Which is a flag on the play.
When we see the people recommended on Facebook all the time, because like you'll go and like you'll see like all these people recommend. You know what I did?
What?
I went to a person who recommended somebody, and I was like, can you send me a picture of their work?
Oh my God. How'd that go?
They're like, oh, well, they didn't do work in my house. Because you know what happens is their friends are going to recommend them. And like, so like I recommend, like I have seen the work that Nicole does, because
she does her social media.
I do her social media. So like I have been
Jessica do your social media too. Check us out.
Yeah, I love it. Brick by Brick Media. But like I have been in the homes.
Yeah.
I have seen the progress. I have seen before and after, like, and I know that it's high quality work. But a lot of people will recommend somebody that is in their BNI that they've networked with as their friend. And so they haven't actually experienced it.
And that's not necessarily like a bad, like they have bad intention, because I recommended a general contractor to a friend that I had never worked with as a GC, that I had worked with him because he was a trim guy. But we had all known, because he told everybody he was a licensed GC. Turns out he wasn't. For 10 years, I'd worked with the guy, and he always told us he was a licensed general contractor. So when a friend needed one, I was Steve probably would be a great recommendation. Yeah, he screwed her over. So it's one of those things where it's like, that is such a good question. Can you send me pictures?
Can you send me pictures of their work? Because then you know.
Yeah, they actually did the work.
And like, that's not going to be where I stop.
Right,
but like that was like, okay, well, now I need to go see if anybody else recommended them.
Great question to ask. Can you send me pictures of their work? Because if they didn't do any work at your house, you have to say, oh, well, they didn't do any work at my house. But
and if you say, oh, I don't have any pictures, you liar. We have this in our hands 24/7.
24/7 a day. 24/7.
You took a picture of something. 100%. If somebody's doing something in your house, you are taking a picture.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yes. So there's a little tidbit too.
That's a great one. I love that's such a good add to your list of things. If somebody if you get a recommendation off Facebook, you're going to those people and saying, "Hey, can you send me a picture of their work?" Oh, that's great.
Or describe your experience with it. Something.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's such So that's the thing. It's like Facebook might not be the place, but you can start there. But then you do all these other things. You make sure that your scope of work is in the contract. You make sure that it says in the contract how you're going to handle delays, how you're going to handle changes, what is and is not your responsibility as the homeowner. Because this is a hill I have died on multiple times on TikTok, because I've been come for so many times. You are not responsible for a general contractor failing an inspection. If there's a cost to fix work, if there's a cost for a reinspection, that is never a homeowner's cost. That being in your contract. Having really clear language is how you prevent yourself from getting into these experiences. So that is what we are here for. We want you to have the best experiences you have. If you have had a bad experience, we want to share it with our audience so that other people don't have to make the same mistakes. You can go to our website at chicksandconstruction.com. You just scroll down a little bit. There's a little form. You can fill it in. We will read your whole story, except for Jess will never say your full name because she's not about that life. And everybody will know and people will learn. And that's the ecosystem we're trying to create here on the socials and on YouTube. Speaking of socials, Jess, where can they find us?
On Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, it's at Chicks and Construction Podcast. On TikTok, it's at Chicks and Construction.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.